Hey guys, 65 here. Got my little Honda Trail 70 behind me. Time to do some points. So thought maybe somebody out there would like to see. Gotta love old points. I'm one of the weird people that actually do. Pretty reliable, but you gotta maintain them. So here we go. So this is 1977 model. The points are gonna be the same, pretty much on all of them. But remove the chain guard, just two to hold that on. There are actually three. There's one here, one down here that holds on this whole side cover. You don't have to take off this little inspection plate. Okay, we got this off. You buy this little remover tool. It's only about 15 bucks from eBay, wherever, Amazon. But it's reverse thread. So into the flywheel, it actually screws backwards. So lefty tighty. And this will make it really easy if you ever have to do it again. Saves you a lot of time, a lot of headaches. So there we go. Popped it right off. Let it slide. Flywheel right off. And it's sticking good with the magnets. There we go. There is a key right there. We'll just leave that attached. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the little wire that attaches from the condenser up to the points. And there's just a little teeny nut. There's just one screw holding it in. And I'll have a washer and a lock washer on it. And then we'll just lift these out. There's your points. So I'll push that for a second, heat it up. Melt old solder. Takes a second. Okay, I got that off finally. Didn't realize there was I thought there was only one hold down clamp, but there's a second hold down clamp that held the wires underneath, and they clamped that down good, so even though I was loosening the solder, I couldn't get them out. Finally I did. I actually pulled this wire out from being tucked under there, so I'll have to tuck that one back under. So to remove the condenser, which is just a capacitor, but they used to call them condensers, so we'll just pull that out. There's just one screw. I guarantee this thing's original. And I can already tell that this one's bad, the way that it's completely, when I first started even touching it, it was just moving in and out. So this capacitor's way past its prime. So we've got a new condenser here and our new felt. So I'll slide the felt in. Now we have a nice thin layer of solder underneath, so now when we crimp the wires over it, it'll be nicer. So that's installed. Put these wires back under. I want to make sure that on these particular ones like this, is while they're out, I want to make sure that I didn't, everything being made in China and Taiwan these days, that, there's a def rate, there's a certain amount that that'll get screwed up. So I want to make sure that they're contacting just perfect, or as close to perfect as possible. If not, you can actually take a pair of needle nose pliers and bend down the metal actually and form it so it's hitting as square as possible. This one's not completely centered, but they make one bigger just because of that, and I think it'll actually probably push in a little bit. But I just want to make sure it's completely closing. You don't want one closing and the other one closing at an angle. You want them to both be, flat, whatever. So slide this one on. Just make sure the whole thing's seated properly, and then we're just going to loosen it up a little bit. And the point of that is there's a little groove right here. And almost all engines that have points have these little grooves. It makes it really nice. So it allows me to fine tune and barely adjust it. So you want it tight enough so it's a little bit difficult to adjust, but it stays where you put it. Because you got to be able to check it and try it again and check it. So I'll set those in for a second. Let's attach this little wire. Hey guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to set the breaker point gap and also time it at the same time. Let me show you. So Honda's integrated them. So Honda's integrated their timing with the it's adjustable at what point it opens, and so that's also how they kind of set their ignition timing with when the point opens. And when it opens, and it's at the firing position, it should be between 12 and 16 thousandths, or 3 to 4 millimeters, 0.3 to 0.4 millimeters. But anyway, what you have to do is you have to unplug this wiring harness. So you have a wiring harness that just comes right out of here, up here. I've just unplugged it, okay? And then you need to isolate this black wire right here to here. I just unplugged that, and now I have a lead into it, okay? So there's just a lead coming out of that. So this lead just comes right down, okay? And what it does is it hooks to one side of a light bulb. This is a 6-volt light bulb. I just pulled it out of the tail light, so it just hooks to one side of a light bulb, okay? Or if you have a 6-volt test light. And the other side just hooks to the battery positive. That just comes down, and I have it hooked right in to my 6-volt battery positive. Okay? Then the negative side just comes up and connects to the engine. Just like that. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to rotate the engine the same way it fires, and mine actually has an arrow on it. It's counterclockwise. And before, or right when it reaches the F mark, and the fire mark lines up with the mark on the engine crankcase, it should go dim. So I hope you guys can see this. Let's get it past the... So as soon as I come in and get close, right there, dim. So I'm a little bit pre-fire when it dims, but you can adjust that by opening the point gap. You advance the timing so it'd fire sooner. By closing it, you retard it and it opens later. So I've adjusted it, the points open and closed, until I've got them to be right on. Right there. That's right when the light bulb dims. Essentially what it's doing is, that's when the points open, and it's diverting some of the power to the condenser and charging the condenser or capacitor. So I've turned off almost all the lights, so hopefully you guys can see a little bit better. Let me see if I can put a light right there. So I'm dead on now. I can rock it back and forth, and it's right there, so you guys can see the light dimming. So that's when the point's open. And then I just check and make sure that at top dead center, at the T, that I'm open to at least 12 thousandths, but no more than 16 thousandths, or at least 3 millimeters, no more than 4.4 millimeters, 0.3, 0.4 millimeters, and then we're good and our timing is set. This is really important when you have worn points. If your points are brand new, they're brand new like this, you're pretty good actually just probably, you know, you can actually just set it to the top dead center and set it to about 12 thousandths, and you're gonna be really close to where you need to be. The idea is a little foot on the bottom of the points right here that rubs on the lobe right there, actually wears. This is the old one. It's actually worn pretty good. You can't really see that good, but the more that wears out, the more it affects this. So you'll need, the light method is a lot more precise, so you can get the light on. But if it doesn't open enough, if you'll need to replace it. If when you put it on top dead center on used points and it doesn't open to 12 thousandths to 16 thousandths, you're going to have to replace your points because the little foot's worn out too much. But there we go, let's put it back together and we'll fire it up. Okay, I got the cover off still, but let's see, she'll fire up. Turn on the gas, choke, that's on, that's on. Moment of truth. There we go, guys. Runs great, works great. So put the cover back on and ready to go. See you guys soon. If you haven't already, leave a comment below. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever, and subscribe. Why not? See you guys soon. Bye.